Awesome. Okay, it looks like my sound is okay now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Divi feature update. Streaming every Monday on Facebook and YouTube at 6 a.m. Eastern. Right, this week I have another quick feature which we'll be talking about, and this is the Divi Quick Access. I mean, I'm really excited about this, so we're going to go into detail and I'll show you how it works. But before we dive into the show, let's give some shout outs. Right, okay, quite a lot of you are tuning in. This is fantastic. We have Uncle Social, we have D-Wang, we have Mark Murphy saying good morning, peeps. Awesome. We have Arun, Uncle Social saying hot morning. Actually, it's really, really hot here, and it's beautiful as well. So as soon as I finish this live stream, I'm just going to go in the sun for for about half an hour or so, just to enjoy the weather. Okay, we also have Nick from Denmark, Triniversal Arts. We also have, let me try and pronounce this. Evgeny, I think, from Russia. Awesome. I hope you're enjoying the World Cup football. Let's see. Who else do we have? We have Remy from France. We also have Costas. Dennis. Oh, quite a lot of you are tuning in. This is fantastic. Let's take a look here. We also have Wayne. Conrell. Right. We're also on Facebook, by the way. So I'm just going to check out here on Facebook and see who's here. We have AimH, Polash, Martin Jones, Giovanni as well. We have Mike. Awesome. Right. So let's take a look at this brand new feature. Now, before we get started, I'd like to let you know that if you want this feature to work, or if you want to get access to this feature, you need to update Divi to the latest version. Right, so let's go in and let me show you how to do this. Right, so right now I'm logged into my WordPress admin dashboard. So last time, quite a few people were asking me that they could not see, when you have an update, it shows here like that number 1. So they were not getting that. So if you're not getting that update, all you need to do is to click on the word update. So what happens here is it refreshes. Okay, right. It looks like this alarm now goes off every time I go live. Anyway, right. As I was saying, first of all, you need to update your Divi to the latest version to get this update. So if you're not getting that little number 1, that icon that shows you that you have an update, all you need to do is to click on the word update. So what happens here is it refreshes, and then it will show you the updates here. But in my case, all my themes are up to date. That's cool. Karen says you burnt the toast again. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my main page. So I'm just going to click on visit site. Right. Next, you want to enable the visual builder. Okay, so I'm just going to click on restore because I think I was doing something earlier on. Okay, so at first glance, you don't see much going on here. I mean, it's quite difficult actually to see where the update is. So to see this update, what you need to do is to click on any module. So let's go into this module right here. So I'm going to click the gear icon. And now I am in my module settings, and this is the text settings. So what happens here is, as you can see, when I mouse over this area now, you see this little paintbrush, okay? So this paintbrush here gives us quick access to where we need to do our updates, okay? So if I click here, directly it takes me to all the settings for this module. So straight away, I can start working away. So let's say I need to change my font style. I can make it all caps. So And also, if I need to adjust the text size, I can go in and adjust the text size. But the really cool thing here is you don't have to go through that whole list of things to see where you need to do the update. So let me just show you how we used to do things before. So I'm going to close this. In fact, let me just save this, right? So let's say I wanted to make changes to this. So I would click on module settings. Right, so next I would go into design, and now we have this long list of options for us, okay? So let's say I wanted to edit my text. I would then need to come into text and then start going through the list of things that I need to adjust. But with this new update now, it's fantastic because if I go into my module settings, I don't need to go into the text straight away. I can just come into the specific item I need to make my edits to. Like for example, let's say I need to make edits to that. So if I click this paintbrush, it takes me directly to that particular item that I need to make the changes to. Okay, so that is the quick update. So we are going to go deeper, and I'll show you the other feature as well onto this. But just a quick question: has any one of you used this this feature, and how are you finding it? I'm curious to see, because in my case, I think this is fantastic because it saves a lot of time going through the whole list of options to make those changes. So by having this, you can just go directly to that specific item that you need to make changes to. Right. Okay, so Denny says my mic is distorting. So let's take a look here. I've just lowered my my gain, so maybe that should be okay. Right. Wayne says yes, it's great. Costa says doubled my output. Awesome. Okay. And by the way, if you have any questions regarding this, please do leave your questions in the comments box, and I'll do my best to respond to that. Okay. Subham says how to update without losing any changes to layout. Right. These Divi updates do not make any changes to your layout. These are just features. So you can safely go ahead and update. You won't have any problems or lose any of your settings on your website. So go ahead and do that update. Right. Let's take a look here. Brian says, Mac, I love your videos. They have helped me so very much in furthering my education. Oh, thanks for that feedback, Brian. Really appreciate it. So I'm really glad these videos are helping you design better looking websites. So that's good to hear. Fantastic. Okay. Let's take a look here on Facebook, and let's see if we have any questions. Okay. Looks like we don't have any questions. So that means two things. It means probably that this is well explained, or basically people don't have any questions. Right. So let's move on, and let me show you how else you can use this. Right. So I'm just going to switch back over here to my desktop. Right. Okay. So I'm just going to close this for now. Okay, save this. Right. So if you're wondering, this update is only on modules. So if you're trying to find this feature on sections or rows, you won't find that. So just bear that in mind as you're using this. So let's go into another module here. So let's try this one. So I'm going to go into the module settings here, like that. Right. So just like before, in fact, let me close this. So this is the normal list that we get. Now, let me show you something that's really, really interesting here. Right. So do you see that when I mouse over this area here, the paintbrush also appears even on the images. So if I click here on the image, it takes me straight to the image, and this is really cool. So you can make your adjustments here. So let's say, for example, on the rounded corners here, we have 90. So we can bring it down like that if you wanted to. But the most important thing here is all your settings are right here. So you can see here as I change my portrait height, it is actually changing on the image right there. Okay. And also, if you want to do your border width and make all those changes, you can do them all here. But the cool thing is this is only for the image because that's the paintbrush that I clicked. So if I come over here now to this text, if I click here, it then takes me to my body text. So this is where now I can start changing my body text size, just like that. And also change, the line height if I wanted to. And the colors. Now, the other thing as well is when we mouse over, in fact, let me close this and find another example here because I tried it earlier on and it really worked fine. Okay, so I'm here on this module here, and this is a blurb module. So on that, if I mouse over these areas here, it shows me what it is. Now, how cool is that? Now, do you know how many times you open a module and you're not sure if the item there is a heading or it's a paragraph text? So this now actually is a visual aid which will show you what things are. So check this out. If I mouse over this whole list, I can pretty much tell what things are by looking here. So if you can, take a look here and see what I mean. So if I put my mouse over here on image and icon, notice that my icon now is highlighted, okay? If I move down, you see like on this text, that means that we don't have anything for that text. And then if I come over here now, we have title text. So if you were someone who was, say, for example, editing this, if you try to come in here, there is nothing that you can actually edit in this area here because it doesn't belong to this module. So this is actually a cool thing. So it may be best practice now to just mouse over some areas here to see where things are. So in this case here, if I mouse over image and icon, now it's showing my image and icon there. If I go down, I can know, now I know that this is my title text. And then over here, now I know this is my body text and so on. So this is really, really cool. And once again, if you want to go and directly edit a specific item, all you got to do is to click this paintbrush icon. So if I click here on team training, that will take me directly here, and then I can change my text, let's say to Laura, for example, and now you can see that it's updated. And then that's the quickest way you can do this. Now, the other thing that you can also do is, in fact, before we do that, for those of you who are just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live. This is a show where we cover the latest features that are released, and we go into detail and show you how these features are used in more detail. And if you have any questions, we can also answer these questions during the show. Okay, so this show is every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern, and we broadcast on Facebook and also on YouTube. Okay, fantastic. Right, so let me take a look at some questions here. Oh, we have JR. He's just joined us now saying, what's up today? Yeah, everything is all good, JR. And two things. I'm really excited about the feature today, and also the weather. The weather is fantastic, so that's really cool. Right, so right, let's take a look here. It looks like we have quite a few comments. Mansoor Khan says, can we also design the row with this feature? The answer to that is no. This feature is only for modules, because modules have a lot more design options, to go through. So this is where this can be applied. So it won't be on the sections, and it also won't be on the rows. Right. Costas says, can you give us some specific tutorials for e-commerce oriented websites using your fantastic Divi? Costas, there are some tutorials on our YouTube channel, which cover e-commerce websites. I think there's one which was done as a use case with one of our pre-made layouts. So do take a quick look at our YouTube channel. In fact, what I'll do is I will find that video for you and I'll drop it in the comments box. Right. Take a look. I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anything. Robin says, currently the visual builder is not working. Clicking on an element disables the builder altogether, and I can't edit it. Right. Robin, as you said here, you're using the backend builder. Now, what I would recommend everyone to do, to be honest, is to really focus on the visual builder. Because most of these features, if you notice, I do these demos on the visual builder, because that's where majority of these features work really well. Now, and if you get used to working on the visual builder, this is where the power of Divi is. And I believe this is the future of Divi as well, because it's very easy to find all these features because it's visual. As you're designing, you can see exactly what you're designing. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but I don't use the backend builder at all. So I'd recommend that you start using the visual builder. So I don't know if this feature really works in the backend builder. I haven't tried it because I mainly focus on the visual builder. But if it's something that's not working, I would say please do post a ticket on our main website, and our developers and our support team will be able to respond to that. Right, let's take a look here. Robin says, I prefer the visual builder, but it's not working currently. Right. What you may want to do, Robin, is it may be that you have a conflict with a plugin. So what I normally do in these kind of situations is I disable all my plugins, test and see if the visual builder is working. If it starts working, then I can start activating each plugin and see which plugin is causing the problem. So do try that, and do let me know how you get on with that. Okay, Robin says, I'll put a ticket since I have no plugins activated. Yes, please do so. And I'll also mention this to the team. Right, so let me check over here on Facebook and see if we have any questions. But it looks like Facebook is stuck for some reason. Anyways, right. Oh, Robin says, I'm on local, installed by Flywheel. In fact, this example that I'm showing you on is on local by Flywheel as well. This is not a live website, so I'm just curious to see what the problem is there. Okay. Okay, fantastic. All right, so so as I mentioned, this feature here is only available on the modules. So try it out on your modules. Let us know what you think, and do give us some feedback on that as well on this video. So pretty much our live stream today is going to be short because this is a quick feature, but I believe that it goes a long way in saving you time in your web design process. Okay, so I'll just wait a little bit and see if we have any more questions, and we will have to call it a day. Right, so I'm just going to switch over here. Okay, so I don't see any. Right, Dennis says, how do we switch to mobile and tablet in the Visual Builder? Okay, so let me show you that quickly. This is something that I can do. Right, so I'm going to switch over here to my desktop. Right, so to see your other views. Okay, so right now my Visual Builder is activated. So all the way down here you have expand settings. So what you want to do is to click these three little dots on the bottom here. So if you click that, it expands, and we have these three views right here. So right now I'm on the desktop view, as you can see. So if you want to go to the tablet view, you click here, and now we can see that this has been reconfigured to simulate the tablet view. So as you can see, everything fits very well on the page. And if you want to do your mobile view, you come over here into this third tab, and that takes you now into the mobile view. And again, you can see that this layout this layout page really shows well on this mobile view. Okay, so that's how you do it. Now, let's say you want to edit a page. So I'm just going to come back over here to my desktop view. Okay, so let's say you want to edit something particular. So what you do is you go into, let's say, right, let me use this one as an example. So I'm going to go into my module settings of this text module. So what you want to do is to go into design. So this example I'm showing you here is to design different views or different sizes for your mobile devices or tablets. So if I click here, what you'll notice is when I scroll down, we have this little mobile icon. So if you click here on this little mobile icon, it shows you now how to set your tablet and smartphone. So if, for example, if I come over here to tablet, you can actually go in and make your adjustments. And if you come over here to the smartphone, you can also make adjustments to the smartphone. Okay, so that's how it works. I hope I've answered that. Right. Right. Webcho, I think, I can't pronounce this well, says, is there any way to white label my Divi usage within my website? As far as I know, there is no white label option. But if anyone has more knowledge on this, please do leave a comment in the comments box. But to my knowledge, there is no white label option. But that's not 100%. I'll have to double check with my team, and I'll also leave a comment in the box. But as far as I've used Divi, I don't think I've come across any white labeling options. Samuel says, can I ask you a question? If there is any chance in the future for Divi to edit WooCommerce content, single page? The answer to that, Samuel, is yes. We are going to have an update soon where you'll be able to do custom post types. So custom post types would cover content like e-commerce and also maybe e-learning pages like LearnDash. So this is going to be a massive change because you'll be able to go in and really customize, your pages and also save them as templates. So this is going to be a feature which we'll be able to do in the upcoming future. But I can't give you a timeline. I'm sorry. Okay. Right. Let's take a look here. Right, so it looks like we don't have any more questions. In fact, let me just check here on Facebook. Christoph says it takes some time to launch the Visual Builder from the backend. What's the normal time until I can work with it? I would agree. I would say in my case, when I switch to the Visual Builder, it takes about 3 to 4 seconds. But bear in mind that this could be as a result of a few factors. Now, in my case, I'm live streaming, so there's a lot of resources being used through that. So that could be one of the factors, and also your hosting company. So if it's not really fast, you'll find that it might take a bit of time to load. So it varies, but it does take a few seconds to load. It's not instant. Okay. Andrea Noor says, what's the difference between the backend builder and the Visual Builder? I know the difference, but it's a tricky one. How do I describe this? The main difference is on the backend builder, as you're designing the page, you don't actually see what you're designing until you go into a preview. Whereas the Visual Builder, as you're designing, you're actually seeing the changes take place on your page as you're designing the page. So that's the main difference. So in fact, let me just do a quick demo so you can see that. Right, so I'm just going to switch over here to my site, close this. Right, back to my dashboard, save and exit. Okay, so I'm just going to go to one of my pages here. So let's go to the front page. So if I click on edit, so this is the backend builder, right? So let's say I need to make some changes to, let's say, this button. If I click here on the settings, now I can go in, make all my changes in here. But as I'm making these changes, for me to see where, what I've done so far, I'll have to click this little icon here, this eye icon. So now this will give me a preview of what it looks like. And then for me to continue editing, I have to go back, continue editing, and then coming back here to this little eye to see all the changes. So to me, this process is just, tedious. It adds a lot of clicks. It's much slower. So as compared to the Visual Builder, so now I'm just going to switch over here to the Visual Builder. And as soon as I click on, in fact, I'm in my Visual Builder now. So let's do the similar thing. So if I come over here into my module settings, these are the text settings. If I click here onto design, in fact, let's use our latest feature here. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to this little icon with the paintbrush. So now, notice that when I make some changes here, it's actually happening as I'm designing it. So that's the main difference. Okay, so I hope I've explained that well. Okay, let's take a look here. Is there anything else? Right. I think it's Triniversal Arts says, Mac, when it comes to selling video services or animations, would Divi be making it possible to add video as an e-commerce feature to work with Woocommerce without adding additional plugins? I think you can already do that. I mean, if you're selling, let's say, video services, you add it as a product and people can buy it through that way. So I'm sure that's possible right now, unless don't really understand, your question correctly. But I would just add whatever video service it is as a product, give it a price, and people can just go to that and check out and buy that product easily. Okay. Right, let's take a look here. Right, let's talk about the headers and footers. Right, I know I spoke about it last time, and this is a feature which I'm sure everyone is waiting for. Unfortunately, I mean, just like BJ as well, and myself, in fact, the whole team, content team, we don't have the exact date of when this feature is coming. What we do know is that this feature will be coming. So hopefully it's going to be a few weeks and not months. But what we know is the team behind the scenes is working very hard to get this feature out. So again, I can't really I'm really, really sorry. I can't give you a specific date as to when this will be released. And I'm also waiting for this feature, by the way. So, I can't wait. In fact, I think once this feature comes out, we can do a special here where we have a massive live stream party. Okay. But as soon as, we hear anything, you'll be the first to know, because I do constantly ask my team in my meetings when this feature is coming out, because I also do tell them that it's always being asked on the live stream. So I'm also putting a bit of pressure to make sure that they hurry up for this feature. Okay. Samuel says, how do I make PDF pages downloadable? We do have a tutorial on that. So I will try and leave a link in the comments box. We've done a video where you can make your PDF downloadable. Quartz Training and Learning Management Solution says, I get you. I've been putting everything on hold until it comes out. Right. Right. Let's take a look here. Right. Okay. So, right. So I think we've covered pretty much everything. And so if you're just joining us, this is the Divi feature update live. We stream every Monday and Friday. Every Monday. What am I talking about? Every Monday at 6 a.m. Eastern on Facebook and also on YouTube. Now, This will also be on the website. So if you're just joining us now, you can watch the restream. We'll keep it on our YouTube and also our Facebook page. So once again, I'd like to say to everyone that joined me today on this show, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate you taking your time out to join me on this live stream. And also, do join me next week at 6 a.m. Eastern, where we'll be covering another Divi feature update. Hopefully, it's going to be the Divi headers. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great week. And I will see you again on Monday. Take care.